I turned a 222-year-old cookbook I found on Google into an AI knowledge base, and I was able to make $10,000 doing it. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, from finding the cookbook to implementing it into an AI system, and then exactly how I sell it. But first, let's jump right into the monetization piece of it, because I think that's what people are most interested in, is how did I actually take this information and make money from it? And it was actually really easy. I was able to do it with no brand, really no product, and no story. All I did was I posted on Facebook groups, on Reddit story feeds, and in different communities across the internet. And of course I utilized my social media, but I was able to post this kind of joke and say, hey, I can turn this into an AI. And people started asking me if they could utilize it and use it in their businesses, and if I could make custom ones for them. So it wasn't always that I was selling this specific knowledge base, but I was different pieces of it. And the real magic happened when I posted the cookbook into a fitness community, and they loved the idea of taking that, but adding in the calories involved, and then also alternatives on how to make the recipes lower calorie. And I was able to do this all with my AI in literally minutes. Before I show you exactly how I do this, I want to explain where the idea came from. So I was actually coming up with YouTube ideas for this video, and I thought, well, how cool would it be if I turned my grandma's cookbook into an AI? And then through back and forth with my coach, we were like, well, what if we turned a 222-year-old cookbook that we found on Google for free into an AI, and I was able to make some money with it. So that began this whole project, and I was starting to find the pieces. So let's start putting all these pieces together. So step one was I had to find something to turn into an AI knowledge base. And the reason why I'm creating these videos is because I want to show business owners how easy it is to systemize their information and turn it into AI knowledge bases, and exactly what I teach in the Founder Systems AI course. But anyways, I Googled copyright-free recipe books, because of course we don't want to steal anyone's information. We don't want to use something that's copyrighted, and a lot of stuff is. And so I also thought that it would make a lot of sense to get something really old, because it's way less likely to be owned. So I went through that process, and I Googled and I researched, and I actually found this Reddit feed, and that Reddit feed took me over to another cookbook, into a whole section, until I finally found one that was copyright free and was really, really old. And that was the exciting piece, is we can take something old and make it searchable, add new features, have it tell us calories, do all of these things that an app would do in minutes. So that was step one, is we actually had to find this document. And then the next problem was, once I found that PDF, it wasn't scanned for text, so I actually just couldn't use it. I had to convert it. So I'm sure there's multiple tools and ways to do this, but all I did was I opened it up in Adobe, and then I went to all their tools, and they have a scan tool, which I'm gonna find for you. Here it is, scan. So all I had to do is enhance the scanned file. So I clicked this, which I've already done here, and then I clicked save. And now it was a text that was readable by ChatGPT, Claude, and other tools. And so that was the magic, is I took this flat image and turned it into a document that we could use as a knowledge base. So all of that took me about 5 minutes and really went fast. And then from there, what I had to do was actually go to ChatGPT and build a custom knowledge base. Now, these are called different things, but the reason why I'm using knowledge base and not GPT is because knowledge base is the advanced strategy that can be used across any AI system, and it's really what is most powerful inside people's businesses, because you're making these knowledge bases of your SOPs, your FAQs, your documents, so you have these tools that can answer very specific questions. In this example of the cookbook, but the advantage in how I actually made that money was turning it into having calories and making it more towards the fitness side of things. So in here, we'll come in and we're just gonna go into this left side. You're gonna say explore GPTs, and we'll go ahead and create a new one. So really simply here, we can have a conversation with this and it'll help us create it. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is upload that file, the cookbook that we already created right here. And so this is the knowledge. It was that easy. Now ChatGPT allows for, I believe, 20 documents at the moment. Claude, which is another AI tool, I think allows like 40 or 50. It has a much larger limit, but one of the advantages is as you get more advanced, you can have unlimited RAG databases, which is just a more advanced knowledge base. And then even with ChatGPT, you're able to connect this AI knowledge base through their assistance portal that I'll show you at the end really quickly. That will allow you to use this with tools like N8N, Make, Zapier, and you can turn these knowledge bases into agents. So we created this, it just uploaded, it just finished, and then I'm gonna come into here to create. So I don't really have to do much. One of the cool things that I did with the way I did this is I really was stuck on the turn my grandma's cookbook, and I didn't have, unfortunately, a cookbook for my grandma. I really wish I did, but I gave it the prompt to act like a loved grandmother, use some slogans and things like that to make this feel more personal. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. And this is in the create section. So obviously what we're doing is we're gonna configure this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use AI to create the AI. So I love using auditory. I'm way more expressive through auditory, and I can just get through this a lot quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that so you can hear exactly what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey ChatGPT, I would like your help creating an AI GPT or knowledge base that is gonna look at a cookbook that I provided and give recipes on request. But I wanna add a spin to this. I want you to add the calories for each recipe, the calories per serving, and then I wanna give suggestions on how to make these recipes almost as good, but at much lower calories. So give alternatives. And to make this more fun and personal, I want you to add a twist and act as if you were my grandmother. So add some cute, loving slogans and some personality to make this not feel like an AI, but feel like I'm working with a loved family member. If they have allergies or things like that, I want you to make alterations to the recipes to the best of your ability to keep it as close as possible, but to make sure that we're not making people sick. So that was very similar to the prompt that I asked ChatGPT for, and now it's converting this into text, and then I'm just gonna upload that. So obviously you could have written that out, but I am way more auditory, so this was easier for me. And now it's doing its thing. We're literally just waiting for it to fill out that configure page. So once it's done, so it says it's done, and now we've configured this AI. So let's give it a name. I'm just gonna call it Cookbook for now, make it easy. And then I'm gonna explain each part of this. So the description is just a high level description of what we're doing. And the important thing with these AI knowledge bases or GPTs is that they do read the description, they understand the name, it's all built in. And then the instructions, I'm not gonna read through these instructions, make sure they're right. They probably are right or pretty close to it. And you'll see that it's saying all of the information that I gave and they filled it out. And then it has preset questions. So as I share these, people can know what they're allowed to ask, things like that. Of course, the knowledge. Now the knowledge is so important. And this is what we teach in Founder Systems AI. It's not about just building AI tools, but it's what information do we give in the background? Because AI is like this really, really smart intern. They know basically everything, but they're very uneducated on your business, your systems, and what you want your output to be. And so all of this is curating that output. So we uploaded this, it helps us with our output. The instructions help us with our output. Recommended models. So I want to use, I don't need the fastest, I don't need to think long. So I'm just gonna go with GPT-O, which is a slower, cheaper model. It'll use less tokens, and in general, it will still work just as well for this example because it doesn't need to do critical thinking or anything like that. I do want to add web search capabilities, image generation, perfectly fine. I don't think it needs to do code or anything like that, so I'm gonna leave it like this. And then actions is more on the advanced agents and things like that, and I don't use GPTs for that. I can show you the advanced level towards the end super quickly. And that's really it. We've got this all figured out. So let's go ahead and create this. So now I can put this in the GPT store so anyone can organically find it. You don't get paid for that at the moment, or I can just make a link. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save this as a link. So I just wanna make sure that everything's saved and we're good to go. And there's a few other small things that we can do in here to configure it. And we'll do that as soon as this saves. So here's our link, and I can share this with anyone. So this is what the GPT looks like. You can say, so I said, give me a chicken recipe that is low cal. So now it's searching the knowledge base and it's giving me the answers. So calories per serving, wild, right? Because there's definitely not calories per serving in a 222-year-old cookbook. Number of serving sizes, and you can custom how this outputs. And then you could turn this into an app if you wanted to. So obviously I just did the high level basics of it, but imagine implementing this into your business for different tools or strategies or workflows. So this is where the magic comes, is not just creating these. If it was this easy to create, other people are gonna do it, but instructions and then different information, skip the rice, add veggies. So again, it's building all of the information I want to go into. So a few other things in here. So I'm gonna come in here and go back to all my GPTs. So remember we did create GPTs. If I wanna edit this GPT, I'm gonna go to my GPTs, I'm gonna grab this cookbook and I'm gonna come in here. And again, this is where everything we did was. So maybe you didn't like some of the answers. Well, you can test that in here. You can upload images, you can upload other information, and then we can create an actual image here. Sometimes it errors out for some reason. Let's see if it works for me right now, but it's using in this GPT, which again is just like this loop of AI. Yeah, it's broken right now. So I could still use ChatGPT to come up with an image. So that was really it. We built this AI knowledge base that is now usable across the internet for people, and we can sell it or we can advertise it to help us bring in new clientele. So as promised, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this to connect it really quickly with other tools. And so instead of using the GPT, we're gonna use the system called Assistants, basically OpenAI-Assistants. So it works the exact same way, and it's gonna look familiar. I'm gonna hit create. I can literally just copy and paste over the information. There are gonna be some more advanced things in here, which I can teach in another video, or you can check it out in Founder Systems AI, where I go through all of this. But this allows you to take GPTs in this model and connect it to all your tools. The real takeaway here is not how to build a GPT cookbook or a knowledge-based cookbook. It's understanding that you can simply do this with all of your documentation and with any information on the internet. So I have a quick example for you. What I did with Founder Systems AI is basically we made an AI that knows everything. So we have hundreds, if not thousands of documents and pages uploaded of our video transcriptions, our worksheets, our templates, and this comes with the Founder Systems AI course, and you're able to ask it questions as you're learning. So can you give me this spreadsheet? Can you explain what a constraint is in a business? Can you explain a bottleneck? So let's just give you an example. So we'll give you a quick example. I'm gonna just ask, can you explain what a bottleneck is? And so we teach heavily what constraints are in our business, or bottlenecks. And that's just because that's where you need to invest your time and resources to actually grow your business. So it takes a second, it's going through all of our databases, and then it's gonna give you a very detailed answer. But the trick is, it's not an answer from ChatGPT. It's not an answer from Claude. It's an answer from the way we teach it, the way we communicate it. And it can aggregate more information as needed, but it's teaching from our examples, which is really the power. It's the team's knowledge plus AI. So that's exactly what it did. It gave us an example and an answer, and then I can ask it for. So then I read through everything. I think I understand it, but I wanted the worksheet to go with that. So it's giving me the worksheet. It's actually giving me the video that goes with it. So it's really powerful to help systemize and index the course and any other business information. And again, the point here is not to show as this is the example, but we can implement that into any other ways. In some businesses, I've done AI proposal generations. I've done pre-call research. There's just so many unique ways you can implement AI and systems into your business to really make sure that you're scaling. So that's how I turned a really simple idea of grabbing a 222-year-old cookbook into an AI. It's simple, it's fast, and there isn't a lot of effort behind it. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to implement systems like this into your business, check out the Founder Systems AI course down below. And I do have a link to this cookbook as well as the GPT down below in a free tool, so you can get that and some other tools that I give. I give away some SOPs and time studies, other things to help systemize your business and really set up the foundations for using AI correctly. If you like videos like this, make sure to subscribe, and I'll help you use AI to systemize your business.